Okay, well, I followed the signs and I walked inside and then I found this, which is good. Hey, it's me, Gazbot. It's Wednesday. I'm leaving about 12 o'clock tomorrow, Thursday, to head to Florida for Rangerstop. I've started doing preparations, and right now I'm getting stuff from the garage into the house. Things like suitcases that to put everything in. Things like racks to put art on. Things like, I don't know, it's all kind of mixed up in my lovely garage, so I'm sorting through this to get things I need for the display as well as things I need for travel. All the prints are in my office safely, so that's that. All right, so now I have to see how many suitcases and or backpack I'm gonna bring, but I also need to bring this, which is my backdrop setup, with me. And the problem is, aside from just knowing how much I can physically carry and maneuver, there are limitations on various airlines, and I'm taking Frontier, which I've never taken before because they had the right time, price, schedule, everything to go. But they seem to have stricter regulations for what you can bring and or higher fees. So I need to figure, so I gotta do a lot of weird math and packing more than I usually do, which is irritating. So the other thing is, I didn't get as many new prints as I would like ready, but I have one brand new print and I needed to reprint a few others for this show. And because of the way the timing worked out, I use cat print and it takes a few days to send even with Express. So I got the cheapest Express and I'm having it sent to the hotel where I'm gonna be staying, which I did once before in Florida. That way it gave me a few extra days to prepare and stuff, and they'll just be there. And that's also less I have to bring in my bags because I'm gonna be right at that weight limit, but then I will sell some things while I'm there and it'll, balance out on the way home. The other thing is, though, I did call to make sure I could do this because you might not be able to do this at every hotel. So make sure you check and they know it's coming, whatever. Similarly, I'm going to be getting in 10:30 East Coast time to Florida. And then it's going to be at least an hour, let's say, till I get to the airport. So I might not get to the hotel. So I might not get there till after midnight. So I called and let them know that. And they said they would hold your room until 2 a.m. So again, cool, because you don't want to be in a position where they gave you a room away because they thought you weren't coming. So I've been working on packing. I have a big gray Rubbermaid Tupperware thing that I have all my 11x17 prints and I cut it down to just those there, which I weighed it and I already forget now, but it was like 15-20 pounds, which is half of what I'm allowed per checked bag already. So I would really like to just bring one checked bag if possible, but because they charge per bag, even the first bag I'm charged. And I also found out, I paid for this package deal where I get a free carry-on, which normally most places give you. Basically, I'm really not liking Frontier as part of what you're learning. But I'm not sure if I get a checked bag and a personal item because my little, that little black bag right there has the little tripods and stuff that I put my backdrop for. And it's not very heavy, but it's too wide to fit even in my big bags, which are as big as you could bring on a plane. So it kind of has to be carry-on. And then usually I'm able to bring my backpack full to the brim with stuff, and then that as like my personal item, and my backpack counts my carry-on or vice versa. But I'm worried now that is that my carry-on and I can't even bring my backpack? So I don't know, I got to double check the fine print on that. But one of the things I do, and I've talked about this before, that's all filled up. And now I need to put something packed around it so it doesn't move. So I will go and say, how many t-shirts am I bringing? How much underwear, etc. Clean clothing. And I will use my clean clothes to pack around it to bring in. On the way home, I put all my dirty clothes in a bag and keep it separate from everything. So just in case anybody's wondering, I'm not putting dirty laundry in with prints that I might potentially sell eventually. But clean clothes, yes, I will use that as packing because I have to. One thing that occurred to me, because I was thinking of all the costs, and this is going to be one of the most expensive shows I've ever done. And I'm like, why? Because of where I live is part of it. The airline I'm taking is part of it because of where I live is part of it. Because when I lived in the Bay Area, the airport was a few minutes from my house. So whenever I was going somewhere, somebody would just drop me off. It was no big deal. And then when I lived in Hayward, the airport was a little further, but I would take like an Uber or a Lyft, and it would be like, even with tip and everything, maybe $50 each way, maybe. It would be less than $100 total. And now I'm about an hour away from the airport, so I'm driving myself, and it's $100 for parking, not including the gas and time and everything else and wear and tear on the car. So that's already more expensive. And the other thing is my setup, because I've got these new wire frame things that are like better in all ways except for travel. And they do fold up, but they take up a lot of room, so it almost means I have to take a second suitcase now. And as I'm talking about this, I'm thinking I don't know if there's a way to avoid it. And I'm paying for these extra suitcases because I'm not driving. One thing occurs to me is with prints, which are heavy, and I have backing boards and bags. What I try to do is if I bring 100 prints, I bring 50 bags and boards because I'm not gonna sell all of them. I don't need all of them, but it's always a guessing game. Just like it's a guessing game of like, well, these prints don't sell very well. I'm gonna bring 1, 2, or 3. These ones usually sell pretty good. I'm gonna bring 10. Oh, this is a Power Rangers convention. I'm gonna bring 20 because these are Power Ranger prints, you know, stuff like that. The other thing I'm thinking though is I ordered prints to be shipped there. They were printed and shipped straight there. Well, 2 thoughts. One is I have this large backlog of prints, and I thought before I need to cut down on this and not have so many on hand all the time because it's unnecessary. But I used to do a lot of local shows, so I just always have them and drive to the local show. That's not happening so much anymore. So, A, should I start keeping minimal like prints at my house, and every time I do a faraway show, just pay to get it printed and shipped right there, hoping I sell enough to be able to bring what's left home? And or does it make sense to get some kind of big flat rate shipping box and pad it up really good and fill it with my prints? Is that gonna be cheaper to mail that there? I'm not sure, maybe. Nothing I can look into now, a little too late to look into that now, but something to look into for the future, because I'm having thoughts of like, am I done doing these distance shows? Because I'm doing the math. And even if I do $1,000 of sales, I think I'm gonna lose money. And between $1,000 and $2,000 is about what I made the last 2 times I went to this show, which in a vacuum sounds good. Like, oh, people are buying $1,000 or more of my artwork. And that is good. It feels good and it's nice and it shows that people like my work, and I'm thankful and grateful for that. But if selling that much art means I break even or lose money, can I afford to do that? I don't know. But no, I can't is the answer. But and I'm realizing, as I said, these costs are adding up, and so I'm like, I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, I'm moving forward, and I'm hoping to be done with all of this sort of stuff by the end of the day today, so that tomorrow I could do any last minute stuff I forgot and just kind of get ready to go. And just so you can see what I mean, I have my t-shirts sort of packed around the edges there, just so it is protected. Then I'll put the top of this on, and I will tape this down with packing tape, which I always do. Sometimes they rip it open because they gotta investigate stuff, but I don't want it all popping open because I put this and other things in a bag like this that gets all tossed around. So just as extra insurance, I tape it down with packing tape. I just have a normal bathroom scale. I used to have a digital one. I specifically got this mechanical one because it just is easier for this sort of stuff. And I am measuring the bag, and to do that, and a lot of these big things, when you put it on there, you can't see the numbers. So I put this box in between, and I weigh the box first, and then I do the math of removing that. So anyway, this is about 8 pounds, give or take. And I also give myself like 2 pounds just floating in case I misread something. So this is, I'm counting this as 10 pounds before anything is in it. So 1 large suitcase with that 1 package I have set up with my 1117 prints and 5 shirts, not including the cat, is about 30 pounds. 40 pounds is my limit before things start to get crazy money-wise, and it makes more sense to bring 2 bags than to semi-overload 1 in terms of money, even though it'd be harder to maneuver to. I was gonna bring this tripod because I wasn't sure. Those that don't know, I do a show with my buddy, the big dog, called Action Activate. It's a Power Ranger show. We do Ranger reviews and interviews with the actors and things like that. And in the past, I've done interviews and things like that at shows like this. And it's a good place to do it because it's a lot of Ranger actors, and usually I have art of them, and I can give them the art and we could talk and do an interview before the show or when things are slow. But I'm gonna be by myself, and I don't know if I'm gonna bring the equipment I normally bring because weight. So I was gonna bring that tripod, but I'm not even sure if I'm gonna use it, so I'm gonna not bring that. And then maybe I have like a little clamp that I could put on a desk or a table. Maybe I'll bring that if I'm gonna bring anything. But meanwhile, I gotta figure out what other 10 pounds I wanna put in here to make it worthwhile. And similarly, I'm using socks and other clothes in there, again, clean, to pack that in so that doesn't shake around too much. This is large, but it only weighs about 2 pounds. So I'm gonna put 1 of these in here, and I am definitely using it, and 1 in there. I'm trying to figure out, well, I guess in the past I didn't bring these. I had a collapsible wooden one that I would put in there, and then the rest pieces would go flat in there. But it was heavier, and it was breaking every time I used it. And then the last show I did that I flew to, I only had one of these. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit after midnight. I got one bag set, just under 40 pounds, at least by my weight measurements. This one I've been working on, it's still over 40 pounds. Yeah, I've done this a few times. It's been a little while, but there's got to be a better way. Like the math of it is because like I kind of pack up what I think I want to bring, and then it's like, oh, I'm like 10 pounds over. Then I take some stuff out. Then I take some stuff out, and then it's like, then it gets to the point where I'm like, okay, well I have 7 of this print. Maybe I'll have 6 of this print. I'll have 10 of this print. Maybe I only need 4 of this print, and it's just so granular, and it's, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go try to go to sleep. I don't think I'll be able to fall asleep right away, but I'm gonna need some time to just lay in bed and get tired. But I'm also not gonna be able to bring that rack. Weight aside, I can't fit it in here in this. Where is it? That suitcase. And I was thinking, is it smaller than the other one? No, the containers I'm putting it in are a little bit taller. So I think if I'm traveling with this setup, at least, I'm only going to be able to bring one of those racks, which is a bummer. Yeah, a lot of compromises happening here in terms of what I could bring. But at the same time, I feel like I'm spending more than I've ever spent to bring less, if that makes sense. Luckily, I have this new backpack. It's a Star Wars backpack, but it's like a high-end hiking backpack because I put 2 flat plastic boxes of pins. Here, I'll show you. The light came up for some reason. And they lay flat, and then I put some 9x12 prints in here, and it all lays nice and flat, and there's still room for other stuff. It is it's almost 12:30 Thursday. My flight leaves in about 2 hours-ish, and I'm a few minutes from the parking deck. I'm gonna have to transport all these large bags myself over there. I ended up being able to go earlier than I thought, which is good, but I couldn't go as early as I had hoped, because even though I had extra time, the nickel and diming and the shifting around of prints to just barely make it to 40 pounds, both of them. And it was hard doing 50, which is like sort of the standard, or was the standard. I don't know if it's Frontier or all airlines that have changed. But trying to get 10 pounds less out of each one than I was prepared for was much harder. And the prints get all scrambled up. It's a big mess. So when I get in tonight, it'll be like 10:30, 11, but for me, it'll be like 7 or 8, so it won't be that late. I'll probably get like some kind of quick Taco Bell dinner. I'll have to get an Uber to the place, obviously. Maybe I'll get them to stop at Taco Bell if there isn't someplace nearby. I'll look online, figure out what's going on there. But my night will likely be sorting prints back into the order they should be in and getting them all together, and then maybe readjusting the layout for my backdrop, assuming I'm able to get my backdrop through. But anyway, that's what's going on now. My 2 huge bags, my backpack, which it's very heavy, but I can tell the weight distribution is better, and it's got this little front snap. So once again, really happy I have this backpack as opposed to my old standard JanSport thing. I think that's Terminal 2 where I need to go, so I'm actually pretty close. So hopefully this will go smoothly because I have to pee, but I want to drop off those bags before I do. I like how there's mountains everywhere now around here, and then around here. I also forgot how to talk. All right, I am in Orlando. Oh, I'd love to get some on the border, but I'm going to baggage claim. I'm pretty hungry. It's 10:30 here, which is 7:30 by me. So it's still late for dinner. This is an interesting airport. I feel like I've been here before, but not in a while. Maybe 4 years ago when I did the last Rangerstop.
Hold on to handrails. The doors are now closing. Please stand clear of doors and hold on to handrails. The doors are now closing.
I forget that people come here to go to like Universal Studios and Disney, even though I was gonna do that a month ago. But anyway, here's a dinosaur. I'm outside now. Baggage claim took forever, at least a half hour before anything started coming out. I'm waiting now for a lift. I went to the wrong area, but now I'm at the right area. This looks like a mausoleum behind me, doesn't it? I don't know what it's supposed to be, but that's what it makes, like little boxes with safe deposit boxes. Safe deposit boxes with cremated remains in them. Ah, there we go. It's both. But I'm going to the hotel, which is about 15 minutes away, which is going to be like a $50 to $60 Lyft ride, not including tip or whatever. But I did put in an extra stop at Taco Bell, so we're just going to go through the drive-thru. That'll be my dinner. Because I realized, what am I going to get to the hotel at midnight and then go try to find a place? Good luck me. So I'm just going to get it on the way. If it gets a little cold, so what? And then I'll do my best to try to go to sleep somewhat soon because I think the show starts at 4 tomorrow, but I'm going to need hours to set up and I'm going to have to go pick up my prints from UPS and stuff. So anyway, that's what we're doing, where we're doing. $12:15 and I just got into my hotel room, which is super posh. Now, do I need all this? No, but this was the room that was available at the discounted rate, so it still ended up being cheaper than getting a regular room at the regular rate. How do I hear beeping? What's beeping? Who's beeping? Somebody, a U-Haul, okay. So now you're gonna watch me sit here and take off my shoes. Yeah, I took a Lyft and I had them stop at Taco Bell, which I think was the right move because it only added a couple dollars to the ride, whereas getting someone to deliver or me going scouting out there somewhere would have either not worked out or ended up costing a lot more money. So good job me, even though the food's probably getting cold. And they had no ice for my soda, which would be fine, except it's not really cold out of the thing. Whatever, that's fine. I already ran into somebody I know in the lobby checking in, which was cool. Because I feel like there's only like 2 people. The more thing, there's probably a lot of people I know here. I don't know why I think I don't know people. I know people. But it's like my David Letterman laugh. Tap, tap, flick. Yeah, I'm out of my mind. I've been traveling for like, I don't know, 10 hours or whatever, and I'm starving, so I'm gonna eat. Oh, but this place, I thought I'd been this place before. Now I'm not so sure. It's very fancy and posh, and there's all kinds of like fountains and nothing I can show you right now, but just the whole thing looks nicer and posher than I remember. Has been 4 years. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Bright as usual. It's like 9:30 in the morning, which is later than I've been able to sleep in a very long time, except it's, for me, I guess it's like 12:30, but I went to bed at like 3, so I got like 6 hours sleep. I was gonna let myself sleep longer, but there's cars outside my window, and around 9 o'clock, someone was like, Hank, 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 and so I'm awake. Anyway, it's fine. I need to get up and do stuff. I'm going to go up to the front desk to see about my UPS print ship order. Actually, sometimes UPS prints. Maybe I'll check and see if they could print my Wild Force Black print that I did on the plane, and then see about breakfast. There's a breakfast place here. It's not included, but I might check it out just to see convenience, and then find out where Rangerstop is, because I know it's here, but where is it? I don't know. All right, so it's been about an hour since I woke up. I pulled myself together. I did a little refresh and everything. I poked my head outside the door. It is a muggy hot day, which I will say, I live in California. Where I live is like the desert area, and it's super crazy hot times of the year when it shouldn't be. But they always say it's not the heat, it's the humidity. That's not true. The heat is also the heat, but the humidity is not fun, because I just poked my head out the door, and it's like 68 in here because of the crazy air conditioning. It's hot, and it is muggy. It is humid. I don't like that. Nevertheless, I persist, and I'm going to go, what am I going to do? I don't know. Some stuff. Coffee. So this place is very posh and nice, but that's my window right across from cars, which is why I heard horns last night. Or this morning. Time is no meaning. Oh, some yard work. Over here, you can see it start. This is what I walked past last night, and it was all lit up very nicely. And a little bit more. Oh, and yeah, they got not a lace. I still eat coffee. They have a lot of nice outdoor seating. So I'm gonna have a nice Little outdoor sit. So this restaurant here is like all you can eat buffet for $20, which I guess could be a good deal, but I'm not that hungry. I just wanted like an egg on a sandwich or a donut or something. I wanted coffee. They had a Starbucks down the way, which of course cost me like $6, but it's a Starbucks. It is really nice here. This is posh, and we're right next to SeaWorld. Apparently there's a walkway to SeaWorld, so that's cool. The UPS store is here where I need to pick up my stuff, and also it has a whole bunch of stuff about how it's a printing place, so if they have some heavy cardstock, I'm just gonna see if I can get the Wild Force done and go from there. And I'm like, I don't know, halfway done with Cosmic Fury Pink, so maybe I finish that during the day today and get that printed up, who knows. It wasn't a real Starbucks, it was like a Starbucks in another store, and they didn't put the Splenda in for me. They're like, hey, you can do it yourself, which sounds like I'm being a baby and want someone to do something for me. But if you don't put the Splenda in before the foam, you kind of can't get it in. So I kind of pushed it down, trying to get it down. Then I'm taking sips, and it's just like Splenda and foam. And so I take I gotta get some coffee in here. And I definitely burned I burned my throat. The inside of my throat is very burned. And I went, blah, and I shouted a curse word. I did. And now my whole throat is numb. There's another convention center, the Palms Convention Center. This doesn't seem to be it either. I'm gonna look at the website again and see what's going on, because I don't know where I am. All right, I double checked. I am at the right hotel, but it didn't say what area, so there's nobody to ask. I'm looking for an employee of the hotel or someone from Rangerstop, and I see nobody. And it's weird because I've got hours and hours and hours, but now I'm starting to feel the crunch, because I'm like, I want to figure out where I am, bring my stuff over, get some lunch, get some prints made, and I'm getting kind of antsy, even though I have plenty of time. So I need to just chill it out. Yeah. Oh wait, maybe it is in this building after all. Okay, well, I followed the signs and I walked inside and I found this, which is good. All right, so I think it's semi-sorted. I'm a little bit early / caught them at a bad time because the person manning the booth wasn't there. But then they found me, and Michael's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, hi. I'm gonna be back and forth. He's like, oh, wait. I'm like, you shouldn't, because it's a long walk. So now I'm gonna move all my stuff over here first, and then, no, I'm gonna go back to my room, gonna prep a file, send it, see if I can get that print order started, then I'll start moving my stuff. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, so it's a long walk from where my hotel room is to where the, hey! Oh God, it's Campbell Cooley. So I'm not known for having the best sense of direction, but this place feels like a maze to me. Last night trying to find my room, just now trying to find the convention center, trying to get back to my room. I look at the signs, but they're not always super clear. It'll be like, go that way. But then it's like, well, which, okay, I'm here. And then, and I find it, but I end up making circles. And the point is, I've already walked quite a bit and it's muggy and hot. So, well, my original thought was, why force myself to carry everything in one trip? Now I'm like, yeah, I'll try to force myself to carry everything in one trip, maybe. We'll see. Oh my gosh, it's so hot. I thought I would be ready for this because, like I said, where I live in California now, it's the hottest place I've ever lived, but it has started cooling down a little bit. And here it's like not even 12, and I don't know, I didn't check the temperature, but I bet it's got to be close to 90. It's sweaty, and I'm moving all these heavy bags, and I'm wearing the mask, and I'm melting here. I took a shower last night, put on all new clothes, and now I'm like, do I need to take a shower and put on clothes before the show? I don't really think I have time. Maybe I'll just change my shirt. But because of light packing, I only brought one extra shirt. But the good news, instead of just complaining, the good news is I have everything at my table. Not set up, but everything at my table, including the new Dark Ranger print and the reprints I needed. That sky does look pretty too behind me. So that's all set up. That's all there. It's not set up. But even if the worst happens and like I can't get back here until a second before it opens, well, I got to set up while people are there. That being said, it's not even 12, so I think I'll be fine. Right now, I'm heading back to UPS Print because they said they could do it right away. So it should be done by the time I get back. The bad news is it's pretty expensive. They said, well, I don't know. They quoted me a price which is double what I would normally pay, even with shipping and everything. But it's here and it's ready, and so I'll do it. And oh, darn it, I keep dropping stuff. So my plan is to pick up those prints. Actually, no. I'm gonna go to my room first. My plan is to drop off these empty suitcases at my room and then go pick up the new prints and wait and see if Campbell or somebody calls me to have lunch. And in the meantime, set up my booth a bit. I did not enjoy the cappuccino. After I burned myself, I basically downed it because I kept having to walk places and I kept having to go inside and carry boxes, and I was like, I'm just gonna spill this. So I sort of just chugged it, which is not the preferred way to have a cappuccino. But you know, these are the sacrifices I make for Rangerstop. I hope I'm not complaining too much. I'm just hot. When I'm hot, I become a little whiny baby. But I'm almost done with the hot part, so that's good. I think I'm getting close to my room. I'm gonna drop this stuff off and go. Oh, I also saw Walter Jones. Not that he and I know each other, but I gave him the old, hey, what's up? And he's like, hey, I don't know if I know you or you know me because I'm a Power Ranger. And I'm like, well, little, I don't really know you, but we've met a few times, but I expect you to remember, so yeah. And I saw Samuel Benta from Overdrive sitting by the pool with his top off, just chilling out. And I was like, why is he like, oh, because he's from England, so it's probably dreary there. So he's probably loving this hot, sunny weather, which I hate. So good for you, Samuel Benta. Damn, that walk back and forth is brutal. It'd be better if I didn't have to push the suitcase, but this time it was 2 empty suitcases and it's still just like, woo, drenched in sweat. Lovely. All right, so my prints were done. The color was good, the paper was good. A hair glossier than I'd like, but actually kind of almost better quality than some of the prints I've got from Cat Print. No complaints there, but it looked a little big to me, and it was. When I was talking to the guy, I said, you know, in my bag, I could unpack a print and show it to you, but I think you could get it. He's like, yeah, don't worry about it. And I should have done the effort because it was 9x6 image with like 1/4 of an inch around it. So it was bigger than 9x6, so it didn't match the other prints, and it wouldn't fit in my bags and boards. I'm like, I'm really sorry, but I need you to do it again. The paper size needs to be 9x6 with a border around it. So I left one of the ones that I have done, so hopefully she can match that. And she said she'll have it by 2:30, which is enough time for me to have it for the convention. So now I'm gonna head over towards the convention center to set up and or meet up for lunch with someone if I hear from someone before then. It is nice walking around here. Like I said, there's the fountains and the light and the music. It has a very festive holiday vacation getaway feel. It's just hot. Which I guess if I was lounging around and jumping in the pool and eating my food in the shade would be nice. But when I'm walking back and forth 10 minutes, carrying stuff every time, it's less nice, but that's okay. This is the beginning. This is the beginning of the song that you like. Is that how that goes? Or the rest of your life? I don't know. I'm not a RuPaul expert. I'm not a Rexpert. No, I'm gonna stop talking. Also at the UPS store, when I went in earlier, it was very busy. When I went in just now, it was not at all. It was just me. And then Steve Cardenas came in, Rocky, and he had a package to pick up just like I did yesterday. And I was like, you're not going to like this, buddy. And it was $16. Mine was $18. And so there was a moment of commiseration on the highway robbery that is the UPS store here. However, I did not bother him, though I wanted to get a shout out. But I'm like, no, inappropriate. Then when he left, I told him, like, that's the Red Ranger. She's like, oh my God, if my daughter was here, I'd go get a picture with the Pink Ranger. She didn't talk like that. She's actually very nice. I'm out of breath. Looking to see if I can find Campbell. I don't think he's back that way. I'm gonna stop filming so I can pay attention to what I'm doing.